नमस्ते सर। मेरा नाम अभिषेक है और मैं आपका सर बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। आपके जो यूट्यूब पे वीडियोस हैं उसके थ्रू मेरे को काफ़ी सपोर्ट मिला मेरे डिजिटल सिग्नल प्रोसेसिंग सब्जेक्ट में, और आपकी वीडियोस के थ्रू मेरे जो कंसेप्ट है वो क्लियर हो पाए और काफ़ी सपोर्ट मिला। तो सर उसके लिए धन्यवाद करता हूँ, क्योंकि अभी हाल ही में मेरा रिज़ल्ट आया और मैंने काफ़ी अच्छे मार्क्स के साथ जो है अपने सेमेस्टर को क्लियर किया। उसके लिए आपके सपोर्ट के लिए, आपकी वीडियोस के लिए सर बहुत धन्यवाद करता हूँ। और जो आप काम कर रहे हैं उसके लिए बेस्ट ऑफ लक। और जो है मैं रेकमेंड करता हूँ बाकी जो लोग हैं कि आप सर का वीडियो देखें और अपने जो डाउट्स हैं उनको क्लियर करें। थैंक यू।
Friend, welcome to Naresh channel. Please subscribe our channel. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about the Thevenin's theorem numerical. So it is the very good numerical, or you will understand all the kind of the concept if you watch this video till the end. So it is my humble request, you have to watch this video till end. Okay, I will clear your all doubts. Okay, so let's see, we can move on the numerical. So this is our questions which is based on the Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so find the current through 2 ohm resistor. What is the mention here? 2 ohm resistor in the network given. So here you can see this is the 2 ohm resistor. So it's become our load resistance. So we can say which one is our load resistance here. This RL equals to 2 ohm. This becomes our load resistance, and we can consider this as a load branch. Okay, so this is become our load branch. So now we have to move on the our step. So whenever you have any question is there in the Thevenin's theorem, so you have to follow the steps. When you follow the steps, you will solve any kind of the question very easily manner. Okay, so here you can see the step number 1. First step is what? Step 1, calculation of the VTH. Okay, so initially first we have to calculate the VTH. Question which is based on Thevenin's theorem. So in the exam it will be clearly mentioned, find the current to the 2 ohm resistor in the network given below using the Thevenin's theorem. Okay, so this point you have to keep in mind. So here I have already drawn the diagram because to save the time. So here you can see this is our load resistance we have already identified, because we have to find out the current through this resistance. So that's why it is the load resistance. So in the first step, okay, whenever we have to find out the VTH, so initially what you have to do, remove this word. You have to always remember, remove load resistance by the open circuit. Okay, so here what we have to do, remove the load resistance by the open circuit, and here we have removed this load resistance by the open circuit. So I have marked here, this is the point A and point B, and this is our open circuit. Clear? So we have removed the load resistance. So now, and we have to find out the VTH across this terminal. So here what is there, we can say we have to find out the VTH. So I have connected this VTH across this. This is the virtually connected, not it is exactly connected, it is the open circuit. Clear? So I have drawn in the different color. Clear? Remember, this is the open circuited, but here we have to find out the VTH. So now what we have to do, we will assume again we have to apply the mesh analysis. So first I will assume that this is the mesh 1. So in the mesh 1 current will flow I1, I will consider, because this is the mesh 1, so I will have consider I1. This is the mesh 2, in this mesh 2 I will consider I2 is flowing. Okay, I will always assume the direction clockwise. So how to calculate or how to apply the mesh analysis, so for that you have to watch our mesh analysis video. Okay, so now you can see this is the mesh, and here I will consider this is a virtual open circuit, that means virtually connected. So I will consider this is the mesh 3, and current passing through this is the I3, but it is the 0 because it is the open circuited. Clear? So I am for easy calculation I am considering this as a virtually connected. Okay, so okay, this you can see, and that I have mentioned here I3 equals to 0. Clear? That means it is the open circuited. So now this is the our circuit. So here you can see, when we consider this is the current source which is between the two meshes, so here we can say this is the super mesh. Okay, so we will mark as it is the super mesh. So this sorry. Clear? So this is the super mesh. So now we have to solve the question. So first, always remember, you have to consider which thing is you are directly getting from the diagram, so you have to write down here. So from the circuit diagram, so which thing we are getting directly from the circuit diagram, that we have to mark here. So this is the, you can see this is the open circuited. So first we have considered I3 equals to 0. Clear? Why it is 0? Due to the open circuit. Clear? So I3 will be here 0. So here I3 0, this Ix will be also 0. Clear? Because I3 is 0 here, so Ix will be 0 because it is equals to the I3 and it is 0 due to again open circuit. Clear? Next, you can see this is open circuit. Okay, then current passing through this. Okay, so this is, you can see this is the remove, it is open circuit, that you can remove easily. So which current is here remaining in this mesh 1? Only I1. So I1 equals to क्या हो जाए? I1 equals to here it will be the 2 ampere. If you remove, this is the open circuit, then you can remove it. Okay, so then we have only which current is passing through the mesh 1? Only I1, and which is only one current source is present here, so we can directly write down this is 2 ampere. Next, again you can see this is the mesh 2. Here direction of this current source, again one thing, sorry, you have to mention, keep in mind the direction of this we have assumed in the clockwise, so and same direction, this 2 ampere direction, this I, so both are the same, so that's why we have written 2 ampere. Otherwise, if direction is opposite, then we will write here minus 2 ampere, but it is the same direction, so we have mentioned here 2 ampere only. Next, you can see this is the mesh 2, and here again current source is present, so but direction of this 2 minus 2 Ix and this I2 is different, so I will write here I2 equals to, okay, so I2 equals to minus 2 Ix. Okay, because it is the opposite to this direction, so opposite to, because we have assumed the clockwise direction, but this direction is opposite, that's why I have mentioned here minus, and this is already minus, so it will become the positive. Okay, so but here you can see Ix is 0, so we will put here Ix equals to 0, so it will become the already 0. Clear? So here I2 will be again 0. So here you can see what is the value of the current. I1 equals to, only we have 2 ampere, and I2 equals to 0 ampere, and I3 equals to, we have already calculated C30. Clear? So this question is we have calculated already I1, I2 and I3. Now we have to calculate the VTH. We have to find out this VTH. Okay, so to find out the VTH, simply what we have to do, we have to apply the KVL. Clear? In the, you can see, let's see how can we write down the VTH equation. So here for your reference, so here again see this diagram. So how we can write down this equation, this is the very important for us. So what you have to do to writing the VTH equation, simple, do not get any panic. So you have to, what you have to do, you have to write down the KVL equation. Okay, so what I have written here, writing, I will write here writing VTH equation. Okay, so how can we write down the VTH equation? I will apply the KVL. Clear? So according to the KVL, I1, I2 and I3, so we have to go for the writing the VTH equation. So here you can see how can we write the VTH equation. For that, what I will do, I will apply the KVL to the super mesh. Simply what I will do, I will apply the KVL to the super mesh. This is our super mesh, we have already identified, and okay, so here we have to apply the KVL. So what you have to do, for that I will write I1, I2 and I3 and equals to. Okay, so here you can see how we can apply this. So this is the, we are applying the KVL to the super. I am not writing here applying the KVL. I will write here writing VTH equation. Okay, so instead of writing the applying to the KVL to the super mesh, so you have to write the writing the VTH, because we are actually what what is our motto, to find out the VTH. Clear? So here you can see applying the KVL to the super mesh. So we have mentioned first I1, I2 and I3, because there are three meshes. Clear? So now we have to check. We are applying the KVL to the super mesh. So which current are in the super mesh? I3 and I1. So we will mark as it is a negative. Okay, this is the negative. Okay, and which is the outside this super mesh? So this is I2. So I will mark as a positive. Clear? Now I need to check the through which resistance I1 is passing in super mesh. So super mesh. So this is your super mesh, and this resistance come under the super mesh 4 ohm. So I1 is passing through this resistance. So I will write here magnitude of the I1 is 4. And what is the magnitude of I2? So here you can see through which resistance of super mesh I2 is passing. This is again 4. You can see this is the 4. It is common for the mesh 2 and mesh 1. So mesh 1 comes under the super mesh. So I2 is passing through the 4 ohm. So I will write here 4. Next is the I3 through which resistance passing. So in the super mesh you can see I3 is passing only this path. There is no resistance. So I will mark as a 0. Okay. Now we have to write the voltage. So here we have to come in this direction. You can see this in this path, in super mesh path, there is no voltage. Clear? So we have to directly come here. So here you can see this is the what is there here, 10. You will come here, in this you will go, here is minus 10. So we will write here minus. So because minus is here first, so we will write minus. Then we will move in this direction. So here is the VTH. So this VTH, this sign is plus and this is negative. So initial is first. So we will write plus VTH. Simple. Clear? So this is the way how you can write the value of the current. Okay. Now next you can see. We will simplify it. Okay, so this is minus 4 I1. So I1 is equals to, you can see I1 equals to 2 ampere. We have already calculated this. I will put here this I1 equals to 2, then plus I2 equals to, we have already calculated, it is 0. You can see I2 is 0 and I3 is 0. So we put 4 into 0 minus 0 into 0, I3 0, and minus 10 plus VTH. So this is minus 8 and it is plus 0, minus 0 and minus 10 plus VTH. So I will shift this 10 on the right hand side. So it is the, you can see, so minus 10, sorry, I have shifted on the left hand side. You can see I'm simply modifying, I'm doing here minus 10. So it's become the plus 10 and it is the minus 8. Clear? So it is the 2. Clear? It's become the 2 volt now. So here VTH is what? 2 volt. So here you can see the voltage value of the VTH is, what is it? It is 2 volt. Clear? This is the value we have find out for the VTH. Now next we have to find out the or calculation of the ISC. Okay, how can we calculate the second step? So so in the second step ISC, what we have to do, when first we have to write down the calculation of ISC, and again here we have to remove the load resistance by the short circuit. Remember this is the here important thing, short circuit. So this is the load resistance here. So it is the A and it is the B, but we have removed that by the short circuit. So it is the short circuit. You can see this is the IN, or we can say it is IIC also. Clear? So this is the IN and this is ISC. So now next step we have to mark here, this is the mesh 1. I1 is flowing in this mesh 1. We have to consider this is the mesh 2. So I2 is flowing in this mesh 2. This is mesh 3. We have to consider I3 is flowing in mesh 3 simply. Clear? Next step, what you have to do, here you can see this current source is present between two meshes. So this is again become the super mesh. So we have to mark here the this is the super mesh. Okay, so here you can see from the circuit diagram, first from circuit diagram, so from the circuit diagram, what is the Ix? Here you can see the Ix equals to I1 because both are the same. So here Ix equals to I1. That means whatever value will be the I1, so that value will be the Ix. And another thing we can write down. So here we can directly write down the I3 because it is the present in the outside branch. So I3 is equals to here, I3 is in the clockwise direction and this direction is opposite to the I3. So I will write here minus, and this magnitude, this is what, minus 2ix. So when I will simplify it, so it's plus 2ix, and we know the ix equals to I1, so I will write here this is I1. So here a value of I3 is equals to 2I1. Okay, so this is the first case. Now only this part is already simplified, so we have to apply the KVL to the mesh, super mesh. So next apply, okay, so apply KVL to super mesh. So this is the super mesh part. So we have to directly apply I1, I2, I3. Okay, so I1 and I2 both are in the super mesh, so I will mark as a negative. Clear? And I3 is outside the mesh, not in the super mesh, so we will mark as a positive. Okay, so now what is the magnitude of I1? So we have to check the through which resistance I1 is passing. There is no resistance, so we have to mark as a 0 magnitude. I2 is through passing through which resistance? Only the 4 ohm, so I will mark as a 4. And through which resistance of super mesh I3 is passing? This is 4, so we will mark as a 4. So magnitude of I3 is 4. Now we have to move for the voltage. So you have to follow this path, you have to come in this direction. Here it is the minus 10, so I will write here minus 10. Okay, simply I will write here minus 10. So this is another voltage, no voltage. Now it is finished. So we have to do the simple calculation. So this is become 0 already. Minus 4 I2 plus 4 I3. I3 equals to, we have no this one. Clear? So you can consider this is the equation A. So we will put A equation in equation number B. Okay, so now you can see what is the 4 I3 equals to 2 I1, and this is minus 10. So if we have to simplify it, it is minus 4 I2, it is plus 4 into 2, it is 8 I1. Okay, at I1 equals to minus 10. So we have to rewrite this equation. So 8 I1 minus 4 I2 and minus 10. Okay, so I will mark as a, this is as a equation number 1. Okay, this is the equation number 1. As I told you, whenever we have to apply the KVL to the super mesh, immediately we have to apply the by KCL. By KCL means for which path? This path we have to always write the by KCL. Clear? After immediate applying the KVL to the super mesh, so then you have to apply the by KCL. Here we have to apply the KCL at this node. So what happened next? You can see. So we will write here. Here you can see by KCL. So by KCL. So by KCL, that you can see what you have to do. So which current? Two currents are flowing through this path. So I1 and I2, because due to this I1 and I2, it's become super mesh. So we will write which direction of this arrow is matching with this current. It is matching with the I2. It is in the upward direction, and I2 is also in the upward direction. So here what we have to do, we will write I2 first. What we will write? I2 minus I1. Why I am writing I2 first? Because direction of the current source given match with the I2. So that's fine. And magnitude is what? 2. Here this one 2. So in this way you have to directly write down. Okay, don't get confused. Now we have to rewrite this equation. So it is minus 1 plus I2 equals to 2. Okay, and this is our equation number 2. Clear? So this is our equation number 2. Now we have to simplify this equation. So solving equation 1 and 2. So we get what we will check. Okay, now you can see I will use the calcium equation. Okay, we have only two unknowns. So first equation, what we have the value, so we will put here 8. So we will write 8, then minus 4. So we put minus 4, then minus 10, minus 10. Okay, and then I will put next magnitude is -1, then I put 1, and then I will put 2. So this is minus 0.5. So what is the value of here? I1 equals to minus 0.5 ampere, and here I2 equals to I2 equals to 1.5. So I2 equals to 1.5 ampere, and I3 equals to, what is the I3? So here you can see I3 equals to 2I1. Okay, so 2I1, so I will write here this I3 equals to 2I1 into 2 into I1 is minus 0.5. Clear? So this is the almost 1 ampere. Okay, you can see 2 into minus 0.5. Okay, this is minus 1. So here I3 equals to minus 1. Now what is the value of the ISC? So ISC is what? Here you can see ISC. So this is the ISC. Again, ISC is equals to I1. So ISC and I1 will be same. So I will mark here. So ISC, or you can say Norton's current, that is IN, is equals to I1, and it is what? Minus 0.5 ampere. So this is the value of the ISC. Next step, what we have to do? We have to calculate the Thevenin's resistance. So next step will be our step number 3, and step number 3 is calculation of so step number 3 is calculation of RTH. So it is simple way we can calculate it is, so RTH is equals to VTH upon ISC. Okay, so we have calculated VTH. So VTH equals to 2 volt, so that we have calculated. So I will write here VTH equals to 2 upon ISC is what? Minus 0.5. so this is what? 0.54. so this is minus 4 ohm. Okay, so always remember it will be never will the minus, because resistance is never minus. So actually this minus is what indicating here? It is indicating whatever direction we have assumed. So we have assumed the clockwise direction, but we got the here minus sign, so we can write this current also I1 equals to as a 0.5, okay, ampere, and direction will be in this direction, opposite direction. Clear? So you can also write, but this precaution where you have to take, this is the important. So here we have to not consider this minus sign, we are considering only the positive, because resistance will be never negative. So we have to write down RTH equals to 4 ohm. I will show you, we have considered this. Next, step number 4. So calculation of IL. So here you have to take the precaution by negative sign. So while drawing this circuit diagram, this is the okay, this is the IL, okay, and the resistance 2 ohm, and this is our RTH, what we have calculated 4 ohm, and this is our I have drawn the Thevenin's equivalent, not Norton's equivalent, but in the question is Thevenin's, so we have to change it. Extremely sorry. So Thevenin's equivalent is VTH, RTH, and this is the Thevenin. So you can also understand this is the Newton's equivalent. You can draw in this way. Clear? So this is the VTH we have calculated. This is 2 volt. Okay, it is 2 volt, and this is RTH, it is 4 ohm, and this is the load resistance. So it is our load branch, that is we can say A and B. Okay, and current passing through, this will be the IL. So here you can see what is the value of IL. So this is the RL is 2 ohm. So IL will be the VTH upon RTH plus RL, and this is nothing but the, you can see VTH equals to 2, RTH is 4, RL is 2. So IL is, what is the IL? So you can see here 2 upon 4 plus 2, so 0.33. okay, so this is the value of the 0.33 ampere. Okay, so this is the value, and direction will be this, because
Thank you, Naresh Joshi. Thank you, Naresh Joshi. Thank you, Naresh Joshi.